What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to JDD TV. I'm your host, Josh. And we got news. Canada has set up a new friendly. They're taking on Panama. Same date, I believe same time, same place, all that fun stuff. And we're here just to discuss it, break it down, and see what you guys think about it. It was a tough task. I don't think there's getting around that. It was a tough task. It's difficult to cancel a friendly in that type of way and then try to replicate it and get one in. So we're here just to see what you guys' thoughts and opinion. I mean, my initial reaction, a little disappointed. I mean, I'm very excited that we got a friendly. There's, like I said, we push our backs against the wall. It didn't seem like there was going to be a way to even get one done. We reached out to FIFA for help as well. There were some rumors going around there of who it could potentially be. A lot of theories were going to South America just because a lot of the sides were open. But we got one done, and it's Panama. It's a side that we played before. It's a good side. It's better than nothing, man. It's better than nothing. So it is. I don't know. It is what it is. Hopefully we can fill up the stadium. That's a big one. Hopefully, if any of you guys are watching and you're going to be in the area, go to the games, support the teams. I mean, it's still a good practice, and we need every opportunity we can to match up, to give options. And you kind of probably could have predicted it if you guys kept a close little eye on Kolyosho. You would have saw that he was wearing the number 22 kit, which means unless he was looking to get cap tied, that was kind of indicating that there was probably going to be a friendly. Now he was also wearing Richie's number, so I thought that was a little curious there, but maybe a little read between the lines. So yeah, BC Place, June 5th. If you can go to the game, get out there, support Canada, watch our national team. We'll be covering it here, of course, on JDD TV, as well as over on One Soccer. So let's just get right into it, guys. Thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited that we got a friendly? Are you disappointed in any way? Let me know. Because I know a lot of you guys were messaging me and saying, Josh, what about these guys? And I mean, I don't know. I personally did believe it was going to be someone outside of CONCACAF. That was my very first initial reaction. It was going to be someone outside of CONCACAF. So when it was Panama, like that little bit of still been since 2020 since we played a side outside of CONCACAF, but it will come before the World Cup. I mean, you got to imagine it will come. But Luke Price, first comment in the chat, says, damn. I'm assuming I'm going to take that as you're a little disappointed, but if you guys are just joining us, be sure to drop a like, guys. Get your thoughts and opinions in as well, and we'll just have a nice little discussion around it. Dr. Negative says, are you serious? I'm assuming you're a little disappointed with the reactions. Kelly says, yo, Josh, great news. It is great news. I mean, there's no taking away from the fact that we got a friendly. This was an opportunity where, like I mentioned, the U.S. have 4 matches. Mexico has 5. We, at one stage, were looking like we might only have 2. So, you can't take anything away from the fact that it is great news, or it's decent news. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Duncan says, let's go. He's very happy. Bruh, Panama. Dr. Negative doesn't like the fact that it's Panama. Panama is good. They're playing a tournament right now. Again, it's literally, I believe, the last side we played. So, I mean, we'll be relatively familiar with them. They're a good side. And like we said, guys, it's better than leaving that blank. This is decent. This is not bad news. Damn, Josh, really quick with that. What can I say? Let's go. I am down. Yeah, I'm down for just about anything. Like, I wanted to get a friendly, and I want to see this team come together. I want to give Kolyosho an opportunity to play, and I don't think, from what I understand, that he's looking to get cap tied, which means that the Nations League matches more than likely weren't going to be available. So it's good to see that there's a friendly in here. A tough competition. I still would have liked it to be someone outside of CONCACAF, but I'm not going to be too upset considering the circumstances that led to this. They could have played Ecuador, Nigeria. A few of those were rumors around. It would have been nice. Ecuador would have been a really cool opposition. South American, tough opposition. They're in the World Cup as well. But, I mean, I don't know. We're in a situation where we should be excited that we got a good matchup, and we're going to see the boys back in action on the 5th, followed by the 9th and the 13th. Afcon says, I'm not mad, but still, they need to do better. Well, yeah, we'll see. I'm a U.S. fan. It would have been nice to watch Canada play Iran. Why was the game canceled? A good chunk of different reasons. The whole situation was unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, it would have been ideal for, you guys to play Morocco, us to play Iran, do some trade-off of information there, but there were different circumstances why the friendly should have never probably been scheduled in the first place. And we had to scramble to find a different friendly, which is why we got Panama, but we got one in the door. And hopefully anyone who's going to go to the games is still able to do the doubleheader. See us play against Panama, see us play against Curacao. BC got a couple games, so hopefully you guys can fill up those stadiums. BC fans better turn up at $30 a ticket. There was some ticketing issues too, so I don't know how many people actually are going to the game, but hopefully there will be a good chunk of you guys being able to go. I'll be going, but I can't lie, it's disappointing. Yeah, I mean, it is. The whole situation was a little disappointing, but again, I'm stressing for you guys. Hopefully, get out and support if you can. If I was in BC, I mean, I would like to go, but better than nothing, but not great. Yeah, but I mean, it's really strongly better than nothing. You know, like it's way better than nothing. So that's why there's one side of me who just always, you know, you want that little extra. You want it to be. I mean, Ecuador would have been a really good side. Nigeria would have been good as well. You wanted that, you know, that variety, but we got CONCACAF again. We got a good nation. Can't be too mad. Can't be too mad. Kind of unlucky, but we need this friendly regardless. Yeah, it's true. I think BC Place will be packed. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a packed BC Place. Smiles all around. Hopefully a lot of families can go out there and enjoy our national team. Panama's fine. Expecting a decent combo opponent. Yeah. I know, but that's the thing. Like you get the thought in your head, and you're like, you know what? Maybe we can pull something out here. But it was specifically because you looked at the Commonwealth nations, you looked at a lot of different sides that just didn't have a ton of friendlies going. So you were kind of hoping you could squeeze in a Chile, a Colombia, Bolivia, whoever it may be. But regardless, we got a competitor. We got more matches leading up to World Cup, which is the number one most important thing. Given the circumstances, this wasn't the worst outcome, and that is a very fair statement, and it's a statement I agree with. At least as an opponent properly prepared for the Nations League as well, Panama is a strong side. 100%. And in our last match against them, we lost against them, which I believe we lost. Did we lose or did we draw? I don't even remember now. But whatever it was, it led us to not be able to finish in Group 3, but now I'm curious because I can't remember if we lost. I think we drew. We lost 1-0. Okay, so there we go. A little bit of revenge, a little bit of at least an opportunity to take on a pretty decent side. So do you have any idea of friendly games that will come next? No, maybe a trip overseas. I have no idea, my man. I have no idea what the next window will bring. I'm hoping, like I said, with preparation, we will get a couple oppositions that will really test this national team. Hopefully this friendly again will give the opportunity to get the guys playing together again. There's news that Jonathan Osorio is out. You guys probably heard that. There will be no replacement, which means Edwards will probably have a good opportunity. Brim will have an opportunity. Koleosho, obviously, now in the Panama match, will have an opportunity. So we'll get a good look at the core group of players that John Herdman is going to focus on leading up to the World Cup, which I'm fine with. There was always the debate, well, why don't we have bigger camps? Why isn't there like the 28 to 30 players? And it's because John Herdman has his core group. There's some bubble players that are going to fight for those final spots, and these are good opportunities to see them. But in reality, we know the majority of players that will probably go to the World Cup, and we get to see them gel together, build on chemistry, build on the brotherhood. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity to see a little bit more Edwards. He's the one player I'm highlighting that I really want to see this upcoming window. And with Osorio out, no replacement coming in, it'll be decent. It'll be a decent match, hopefully against Panama, as well as a couple competitive matches against Curacao and, of course, Honduras. But unfortunately, I don't have any information on what's to come. But like I said, I'm hoping it's someone that could match up pretty nicely in preparation for the World Cup, specifically someone outside of CONCACAF. Because I've repeated this sentence, but we have not played out someone outside of CONCACAF since a friendly against Iceland in 2020. Early 2020. Some people will complain, but this is great news for everyone involved. Yeah, I mean, Kelly, honestly, I'm complaining a little bit because, I wanted to see just a fresh face, a fresh competition, see what Canada can do against someone outside of their region. But again, given the situation, I can't really complain that much. I have to be happy. I have to be happy that we got this match in, and we'll be able to hopefully see you guys in the watch along and see some new faces, because this friendly now it changes the perspective of the friendly. The friendly against Iran, I felt like was going to be treated more. Yeah, like I say, it was more important than the competitive matches. Now I feel like it's reversed a little bit. I feel like there could be a lot of substitutions. Maybe you do a wholesale of changes of players, You're going to see Koleosho obviously feature, and then I feel like now the Honduras and the Curacao match become the priority. So I'm curious to see the way that it shifts a little bit here and seeing maybe what a starting 11 could look like for that upcoming match against Panama. But I got to get my buddy Rogelio back on, so I got to go bug him to come back on the channel. Revenge for the last game. I mean, that's one good way to look at it. But for me, I want to see a lot of, I don't know what I want to see out of this match now. I wanted to see a competitive, just two good teams going to the World Cup, going head to head. But now I kind of want to see, I don't know, maybe, like I said, Edwards, Koleosho, those are kind of two players that I really want to see now in this friendly. See what the kid can do. It's interesting. It definitely changes the perspective of this upcoming window, that's for sure. Because even if we found a way to get Ecuador in there, I feel like that game would have been prioritized. Best 11 would have gone out. Now we're taking on a Panama side that we've seen already a bunch. And I don't think that's going to be prioritized because it's a friendly. It feels like a friendly. This doesn't feel like a proper preparation friendly for the upcoming World Cup. It just kind of feels like a bit of a friendly, which Canada obviously needs. But they will now, in my opinion, probably shift towards the Nations League matches. But we shall see. Nigeria and Ecuador had a game on the 2nd. How could we possibly schedule them? Again, unrealistic expectations. Yeah, there were some different rumors but there was a couple different reasons as to why, but obviously those circumstances didn't happen and the opportunity to schedule them didn't. But I do think South American sides were where a lot of the people were looking at, mainly because, like I mentioned, they had a pretty open schedule. I mean, I believe Bolivia, you guys were tweeting me a lot. Josh, what about Bolivia? And it's because I don't think they have anything scheduled. So that would have made sense. Would have been interesting to take on a different opposition, but again, can't complain. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. You said I'm more disappointed rather than relieved we got Panama as a friendly. I would say I'm more relieved than anything. I'm a little bit more relieved than anything just because we need matches, man. We need every opportunity. There should be 2 friendlies. We should be playing just as much as the U.S., just as much as Mexico in preparations. So I'm just happy at least we got one. I am. There's always that little disappointment, but it's because, we have higher expectations now. Another CONCACAF opponent, at least Koleosho can get into all 3. So I believe Koleosho more than likely will just feature in the friendly. I believe it. I don't know. I don't know how this. I need to do a little more research on the dual national. I'm pretty sure if he plays in a Nations League match, he can't represent, for example, the U.S. for 3 years. Maybe I'll have to do a little bit more digging. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, that we'll see him at least in the friendly. We may see a good chunk of him in the friendly now because of the opposition. If it was Iran, I don't know how much we personally would have saw him. Maybe 25 minutes. Maybe we see him start. We'll have to see. Will Herdman bring over the big guns? Well, they're going to be in BC anyways. So, I mean, I think, like I said, my assumption now for this Panama match is the fact that we're going to see almost everyone is what I would kind of seem like. Like, you're going to see maybe a wholesale of changes of players, but but my boys tuned in. Yeah, okay, so I was that's what I was thinking too, because yeah. So from my understanding, and Filippo's in the chat, so he's keeping a very close eye as well. That's why I assumed that there was a friendly that was probably going to happen. We saw Luka coming in a number 22 Canada kit, and if he would feature in Nations League, I believe it ties him up so he could still switch, but he couldn't represent the U.S. for 3 years, so he'd be 20. So more than likely, unless he's going to commit to Canada this window, we're not going to see him play in the Nations League. But this opens the door for the friendly, and that's why even in the Iran match, I didn't know how much we're going to see Luka actually play. Now the fact that it's become a Panama, which in my eyes, like I said, it comes really more of a friendly as opposed to a real competitive friendly in terms of matching up with a World Cup opposition, we could see Luka realistically start, maybe get put on at halftime. We see a lot more minutes out of the kid, which I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on. But I do agree with Tact. I don't think we're going to see him for the Nations League unless he decides, you know what, I love this camp, I love this national team, I'm committing, and we'll have to wait and see. But as a TFC fan, it pains me to see Osorio out. Yeah, but he's got a lot of time to recover. He'll be good. He will be good. On a different note, I'm curious to see how Morocco does against the U.S. I am very curious to see on that result as well. Ghana, Nigeria would have been a good opponent. It would have, but man, when you leave it as late as this, it's a little frustrating. There's only so much we can do. It can be a little impressive the fact that we even got anything. Herdman has been clear that all Canadians will base somewhere in Europe for a European camp in September. Good test of depth. I think so as well. So we were playing Panama and Curacao. Yes, in BC Place. One is a friendly, one is the First Nations League match, and then we were heading over to Honduras for our second match in the Nations League. So we got 3 games this window. And I said, I feel like it's switched now. Instead of Iran being the eye-catching big match of the window, I think it kind of shifts. I'm kind of honestly looking at that Curacao match as kind of like the highlight, but maybe Honduras. I think that would probably be the biggest test. Hello from Brazil. Canada should play against Brazil. I mean, that would have been a really fun friendly. Could have got Argentina, Brazil in the door, but again, I don't know what we were working with. It seemed impressive that we were able to find anything. This is a quick turnaround, so we gotta just relax and be like, you know what, we got it done. It is good. You gotta cap tie him in all 3. I think. I mean, if you can, you do, but I don't think he's ready to get cap tied yet. From what I understand, he's gonna keep the door open, but we don't know. I haven't talked to Luka yet. I think we'll have a good indication of what this window will bring. But if he wants to keep his doors open, he won't play any matches more than likely. So, yes, I mean, shifting gears a little bit to this, but get your guys' questions in, man. There's been a couple different news. I mean, 1, we're playing Panama on June 5th. Great news. 2, Osorio is out. No replacement will be coming in, which just allows us to see maybe Kolyosho a little bit more, as well as Edwards, Brim. I don't have any issues with it, to be honest, but the final one that was coming in today, and I tweeted about it a little bit earlier, was, the Portuguese press now reporting that Porto have exercised. Oh, okay. Well, that changes things, though. I'll have the recent news that I just was told this morning was that Oliveira was not going to get re-signed by Roma, which means that he was then going to go back to Porto, which means that Porto wasn't going to exercise Eustachios, which means Eustachios is going to go back to Passos de Ferreira. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. That was the last I read, but Aaron comes in here and says that the Portuguese press is now reporting that Porto has exercised the option on Eustachio. So if anyone wants to tweet me or tag me in that, my man, I will take a look on it in here, but I don't know where the report's coming from, but that's curious because, okay, 15 minutes ago, there you go. All right, I found it. Porto has triggered the option to purchase Eustachio. Signed a contract till 2027. Okay. There we go. There we have it. Steph stays on. Well, 2027. That is a big... Okay. Appreciate the input, my man, because there was some interesting stories going around about Steph, but that's big news. Resigns till 2027. He found some success. I am a little bit worried about his game time. I was kind of not hoping he's going to leave Porto, but I'm hoping that he's going to have a big impact and try to, compete for a starting spot. I threw it aside like Braga, maybe taking a look at him because I think he's playing at a competitive level. But there we have it. The man resigns. His clause was activated, and he will be part of Porto until 2027. I'm curious, though, with Oliveira coming back in that midfield the way it is. I mean, there's got to be some bodies going out. Otherwise, those minutes will be a little tricky for Eustachio. But I do think in the grand scheme of things, that is good news for all involved. Sens fan, eh? What gave it away? You saw it in the right up there. Yeah. Miserable one at that. Miserable one. Mexico playing Sweden and the U.S. playing Morocco. I wish Canada had someone outside of CONCACAF, but oh well. I think that's going to be the number one takeaway is, you want to see Canada play on against just someone different. There's nothing against Panama. This is still a good side. It will be good preparation as well, but it's been so long to see what Canada could do when you had a lot of rumors going around, which gets you excited. But regardless, the way that this window was going, I'm going to take it as a win. See what the preparation is going to look like this camp, and then get excited for next camp. Because the Canadian Soccer Association has got a lot of work to do to get these proper friendlies in play, and I'm curious to see who they can find. The number one thing I think I would like is a European nation. Taking on Croatia, taking on Belgium. That's one friendly I'd really like to see. And then probably like an African side, I think. It makes the most sense. I mean, if you can get Algeria, I don't care that they're not going to the World Cup. You can get Algeria in there, Egypt, Nigeria, I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Italy versus Argentina on Thursday, so Argentina would have been impossible. Yeah, what a friendly that is. Do you think Canada could beat Italy? That's my dream matchup coming from an Italian Canadian. I don't know, man. Italy is a tough nation. I don't know what if we play Italy, more likely being a friendly, and I don't know, maybe they're gonna go through a transitional phase. I don't know what type of roster they're gonna look at, but I mean, in all honesty, I mean, Italy's got a good side. I mean, if I'm a betting man, I'd put money on Italy, but in a friendly, when you have players and wholesale changes, you never know. It could be a decent little matchup, but if you're talking a competitive match, I think we'd be the heavy underdogs in that situation. Playing Panama for a friendly, Canada losing 5-0. Get out of here, you. Come on. We're going to move on. Germany is taking on Italy twice, and England starting on Saturday. Yeah. I'm curious. I don't know exactly what European nation. Let me know, guys, in the chat. What European nation, if Canada's able to find one, would you like to see them take on? For me, that's a really important one. I want to see a European nation. Off the top of my head, taking a look at Croatia, maybe Sweden. Sweden could be a decent one. I don't know what I haven't looked at any of the schedules or anything like that, but throw in some options. If Canada's taking on someone from Europe, who do you want to see them that could potentially, match up pretty well against Canada, give them some good preparation? Egypt would be amazing to see. I think so too. Algeria always stuck out to me. I don't know why, it just did. Denmark's a good one as well. Hungary. You're also playing Hungary. I'd be happy with both those matches. Hungary, Sweden, Denmark, all pretty decent matches, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head who screams out to me, but that's what I would like to see: is a European nation and an Egyptian one. I'm gonna put out Algeria. Algeria has a good side. I would really have liked a matchup against them. And then for my pick for Europe, again, I don't know the schedules, so I could butcher it, but I do like Denmark. I'd have to take a look at the groups again to see who would maybe want to get there. Turkey could be a good opposition as well. They're gonna have to be very, very careful about how they book these friendlies after what's gone on. So they got some work to do to get these friendlies on board. But Mexico is working on getting a friendly with Brazil. That'd be a good one. I would have liked to see, again, with all the openings that look like with the South American sides this window. It could have been a pretty cool opportunity for Canada, maybe look that route, but wasn't to be. What can you do? Most European teams would hammer Canada, just saying. Oh, I don't know about that, my man. I think Canada would be a favorite against a side like Finland, for example. There's some massive European nations that could take on Canada, but the biggest thing about this Canadian men's national team side is we have not seen them play anyone outside of CONCACAF. We have not. That's why I'm going to take a very special eye on USA and their friendly against Morocco. But I think saying most European teams would hammer Canada is just not true, because there's a ton of European ones. There's only a handful of world-class sides out there, and I'm not saying Canada could go toe-to-toe with them. But when you start getting out of the top 10, I think in Europe, there's a lot of sides that Canada would match up pretty nicely against. But there's only one way to see it. So, Canadian Soccer Association, get to work, see what you can do, and get in a good matchup that can test out our men. Rangers fan. Not quite the matchup we're looking for, since we're still CONCACAF opponent, but it's something. It is something. This is way better than no friendly at all, and I think that's the big takeaway, guys, from today's lesson. Big takeaway, I think. Montenegro or Greece, two other good options as well. And again, maybe I'm just being a little, because we're taking on two of the best. We are taking on two of the best in Europe. Belgium, Croatia. That's why, a Denmark, I think, a Sweden, a European nation that I think Canada could compete with. Because we're taking on two of the best, man. We truthfully are, which makes it tricky. I don't know if a Finland, to me, screams or same as Montenegro, or even a Greece, but I don't know. I don't know what they're going to be able to pull out of their sleeve, but we're going to have to wait and see. Who is Canada playing now? They scheduled a friendly against Panama, and then they have two Nations League matches against Curacao and Honduras. So the new match is against Panama, which is a relief that we got the friendly in, but a little disappointment because a lot of Canadian soccer fans really just want to see a nation outside of CONCACAF. Norway could be an interesting one. I'd take on the opportunity of taking on Holland. That'd be fun. Canada play as a team. They're very well organized. Canada are a problem for any team. They are. But again, just as us Canadians, I mean, I can talk up our national team as much as we want. I love watching them. I love the turnaround, the rise that they've gone on. But this friendly was important to me this window. The friendly against Panama, to me, yes, we got it in, but it's not as important as it would have been taking on even a side like Iran. Whoever it could have been. We could have pulled off Chile or Colombia or whoever. Like, that would have really intrigued me. This friendly feel, like I said, for me personally, feels like more of a friendly. Still preparation, still good for the team. But as a viewer, as you guys, you probably aren't as interested as it literally could have been almost anyone outside of CONCACAF. It's kind of the feedback you guys are giving me, and I think it's fair. Ireland, Scotland, Ukraine, all decent as well. Switzerland's would be a good one. Ukraine, Egypt, my perfect September window. That's a good window. If you can able to pull them off, again, didn't look at any of their schedules, but Egypt would be fine. I would toss in Algeria. Switzerland, Ukraine, both very fine as well. And I'd probably throw in Denmark or Sweden from like a perfect type of window. Poland as well. Because I believe Poland's got Mexico in their group, because that could be an interesting one. The Netherlands, do they have any? Because you got to look at a benefit for both sides as well. Now, you threw up Poland there, and if I'm looking at Poland, they're taking on Mexico. They want a CONCACAF opposition. Why not? That would make sense, especially because we got two European nations we got to take on. So Poland is a really good shout. Looking at an African side, can't think of off the top of my head. I just know style-wise, that's why I was taking a look at Algeria and Egypt. They're not in the World Cup, so maybe you could pull off a friendly there. But it'll be interesting. Oh, what a bad take. What a bad take. It's fine. It's fine. Everyone's entitled to their and we don't know. I mean, I can't say that because I'm confident that Canada can compete. Like I said, I mean, for example, I'm assuming maybe you're from Scotland. I'd put money that Canada could go toe to toe with Scotland and maybe even come out on top. But until we see them be able to take on a nation outside of CONCACAF, I mean, we can just talk back and forth, and that is what it is. I'm not going to say Canada can go toe to toe. I think on their day they can maybe go toe to toe with anybody, but in terms of just a proper European side like a Scotland doesn't overly scare me. I don't know if any Canadians in the chat want to chime in on that. You're gonna put us against England, Italy, then I'm getting a little frightened. I'm frightened against Croatia. I'm frightened against Belgium with Thibaut Courtois and De Bruyne. But I mean, Scotland, I don't know. I think Canada could go toe to toe and take the match on like that and potentially win it. But I'm biased. Obviously, I'm Canadian. I'm English. Okay, English supporting Scotland. Interesting. See, like taking on England would scare me. They're a good nation. I'd maybe relish the opportunity to see what Canada could do, but I'm not going to come here and be like, yeah, we're going to take on England and be heavy favorites, because we're not. But Scotland, I honestly, man, I think that we can go. We could take on a side like that. But bro, it's crazy that people are still doubting Canada on the World Cup. They will show the world, baby. We got a tough group, man. Got a tough group. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. But like I said, this is why a friendly outside of CONCACAF was so important to me. It really was. I would have liked to see Canada match up against Iran. There was obviously the issues why the friendly should have never been scheduled in the first place. I get that. It was overlooked and the friendly was canceled. But if politics aside, if it was just two teams going against each other, it would have been interesting to see how that matched up. Or finding almost any other nation that's outside of CONCACAF. But again, I digress. I'm going on a tangent. We'll hopefully have the opportunity to see what Canada can do in a friendly outside of CONCACAF in the next window. But it is okay. We'll show them. Canadians will show them. I don't know how it'll go in the World Cup against Belgium and Croatia, because those are just two scary sides. And even Morocco. And we got a Moroccan coming on the channel soon, and I'm really excited to interview him because, I mean, if you follow us here on JDD TV, if we want to imagine that we're going to qualify for the round of 16, you got to imagine we're going to take on Morocco. So a lot of us are overlooking Morocco, but Morocco's got just as good as a chance to move on as we do. And I'm really curious to see what his take is and get the perspective of how the Moroccans are viewing Canada. And I think us Canadians maybe overlook them a little bit because we're hoping that that's the win we're going to pick up to give us a fighting chance of getting out of the group. So that's an interview I'm really excited to come on, and we'll share it very, very soon. Aaron says Spain, Germany, England, and Poland are the European teams with CONCACAF in their group. I don't know if we're going to set up one with Spain and Germany because they're potential opposition for the round of 16. England could be a potential friendly, but more than likely they're booked up. Poland, to me, out of that list, is the only one that screams a possibility. That's for me, but we shall see. Playing Italy on Saturday, and I think England on Tuesday. Let's see where we're at. It's fair. If we got Mexico, I'd really want Donovan Henry to give Marcelo Flores a beating. Honestly, I don't blame Canada for getting the American boy since we lost Flores. Yeah, well, Luka will have a good opportunity against Panama. It's something I'm really looking forward to. But if you guys are still with us in the chat, guys, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub if you guys are new. Get your guys' thoughts and opinions in as well on the new friendly setup with Panama. And we got some interesting debates on how Canada could match up against some European nations out there. Croatia is aging. Definitely a winnable match. It's the perspective, man. But again, they're still a dangerous side. I mean, Luka Modric, even at his age, just took home a Champions League. You can't take away what this side has. They're going to be scary, but I don't know. I think Canada has got a fighting shot in this group. It's going to take a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill as well, but it's the World Cup, man. Anything is possible. A friendly against the U.S., Mexico, or Costa Rica would have been better than Panama, but it is what it is. Just be honest with yourself. Canada is 39th in the world and regularly beats on teams hovering around 10. I know U.S. and Mexico are near the top 10 in the world, which is wild to me. We got guys like Yeet in here. Come on, my man. Have you heard? Yeah, I mean, terrible move. I don't know what he thinks he's. If you watched Thibaut Courtois recently, because he's not touching, and even the backup keeper. Like, I don't know what the idea is. Maybe he wants to play for their second side. Maybe loan him out, but I mean, he's not going to get minutes, and he's gonna. I mean, he's stumbling right now in the MLS recently. His form has been atrocious, and now he's going to get linked to Madrid, and then ride the pine or get loaned out somewhere else, battling for. I don't know. It seems like a terrible situation for a young kid with a lot of promise, but that's an outsider's perspective. Does anyone know if they're releasing tickets for the June 5th game? I don't know any details on that, but I'm assuming they're going to do everything in their power to hopefully get it back to a full stadium. There were some ticketing issues I read, but hopefully if you guys are in the area, you can figure it out and get to the games and watch the national team, man, because it's going to be special. Vancouver's been hungry for the opportunity to watch the national team, and I'm just encouraging anyone tuning in, watching, to hopefully be able to do that. Where are we? I didn't even notice much it's in the Champions League final. Croatians have lifted. Croatia has lifted the Champions League every season since 2013, and I think that's wild. I think it's only been 3 players: Kovacic, Perisic, and Modric, but still impressive nonetheless. There are quality UEFA teams that are not in the World Cup. Italy would be amazing. Turkey, Austria would be good. Yeah, again, I don't have to be sold on setting up a friendly against a side going to the World Cup. Like I said, the two African sides I thought would best match up against Canada and replicate what Morocco could do. For number 1 for me is Algeria. Number 2 is Egypt. None of them are going to the World Cup, and I'd be happy with a friendly of both. And yeah, I mean, if you can get one against Italy, I mean, that'd be a dream. But I think that's probably a little unlikely. Turkey is a decent matchup. Austria is a really good matchup. Ralph Ragnan, I believe, taking over that side as well. All I can say is the Canadian Soccer Association must come through in a September window. I mean, big. Italy, Argentina, Germany, they need to shock us. I'd put like 4% on one of those, to be honest. But we never know, man. They got some work to do. We'll have to see. I would have been happy with Chile or Colombia. I listed the teams I did because Canada should be trying to warm up against the World Cup teams, in my opinion. It is, but they're also very difficult to schedule. Like I agree. I would love to see Italy. Italy makes sense. I mean, they didn't qualify. Maybe you can find a way to get a job done. It would be a sellout. I think at this stage, more than likely, we're not going to be able to take on like a top 10 nation. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't have any insider information. It's what my gut, head, and observation is telling me, that you're going to hopefully, and this is still good, hopefully see the next window with a team like Poland, maybe Austria, something like that. Sweden, because I think Sweden is taking on the U.S., if I'm not mistaken. So maybe there's that, that CONCACAF correlation. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Obviously, Costa Rica to beat New Zealand to make the World Cup. I'm hoping so. a shotgun game with Nigeria. I mean, there's that obviously that connection with Nigeria, which is the women's team playing there. I mean, it seemed like an obvious one, but again, there's a lot of details. I don't know what their friend, like off the top of my head, what their schedule is looking like, but I'm assuming the Canadian Soccer Association exhausted their resources trying to get the best fit, and it is what it is. We got the game in. We'll be able to watch our national team play one more time this window, so there's not too much complaining we can do. But yeah, I mean, just hopefully lessons learned that something like this won't happen in the future. But yeah, Colombia should be available. They also didn't qualify for the next window. Again, it wouldn't be an issue. I would have been nice to get them in this window. Like again, the Commonwealth nations, they had very open schedules. Like I mentioned, Bolivia, not that that's any better in my opinion than Panama, but I mean, it'd been interesting to see what we do matching up against them. Don't even have a friendly scheduled, so we're all just theorizing here. We got the job done, and hopefully they can impress us with the friendlies that they're going to get in the potential next window. Doesn't have to be a top 10 team, just going to be a team in the World Cup. Yeah, I mean, Poland, again, is the obvious one for me. They're taking on a CONCACAF nation. We're taking on two European nations. They're a decent European side. Like, that's, for me, is a no-brainer and hopefully a target that can work out. But I don't have any of the inside information. I don't know what it's going to take to get some of these friendlies over the line, but that's just one for me that comes in, and hopefully maybe we can pull it off. I don't know. That relationship with Nigeria as well could still be there. I don't know. Did you look at the table, my friend? I think Canada took home that top spot, but I don't know. I don't know if that's just me. Canada Soccer said tickets for the lower bowl for the Canada match are priced at $30 to thank Canadians for their support in light of. It's decent, man. $30 to go watch the national team, and I believe Bone just said he paid $140. So hopefully, again, if you guys are out in BC, man, could be fun. What do you think about Mexico, USA, and Canada possibly playing in the 2024 Copa America preparation for the 2026? I don't know if they'll do it. I can't speak to that. It's just a guess, but I mean, absolutely, this has to be a step. I've mentioned it a bunch. Tax mentioned it a bunch as well. My ideal situation is you turn, instead of a Gold Cup every 2 years, you keep your traditional Gold Cup. It will then happen every 4 years. You take that other 2 year span and you do this mixture of CONCACAF Commonwealth for a fun, exciting tournament. The last one did so well. Canada wasn't even in it. There's massive upside to both. If you can find a way to do it, you go your Gold Cup 2 years. 2 years later, you go your I don't know what to call it, Commonwealth CONCACAF split, and then it goes back to Gold Cup, which would then be the 4 year cycle. So that's what I would like to see. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's a dream for me. Seeing a group stage, you get Brazil, you get Colombia, you get Chile. I mean, Canada won't be one of the favorites in it for sure, but to take on that type of opposition every 4 years is just, I don't know, gets me excited thinking about it. But I think there's a lot of steps to be made before anything like that could potentially happen. Kelly comes in with the statement. If Canada has to travel to play a friendly against a World Cup team, I'm fine with it. I am too. Canada's 10 times better than France. France would be a tough opposition. I don't think there's a way around that. It's all about prepping for the World Cup. You want to take on the best of the best. Yeah, it can be tricky, man. It can be tricky, but regardless, the friendlies that are coming up, Sunday, June 5th, we're taking on Panama, BC plays. Thursday, June 9th, Curacao, BC plays. And then Monday, June 13th, Stade Saputo in Honduras. 3 big games, a lot of opportunities. Shout out to Alex. I just saw his tweet pop up. That's why I read it word for word. But regardless, man, it'll be interesting to take a look at. I'm just happy we got one over the table. They need a European base to get other teams. Do you think that the 2026 World Cup has too much host cities? It's supposed to be hosted together, not US, Canada, and Mexico. I don't know. It's a tricky one so far. I think a lot more information needs to come out. They're picking the hosting cities very soon, I believe. And this is why I think it's a pretty important for BC Place to try to fill out. We do need to see Canada take on a European side 100%. Ballman says, I'm disappointed to be playing CONCACAF opponents again. It is, but like we've basically stated, the takeaway of this video, if you're just joining now, is a very simple one. It's been a mess up since the scheduling of the Iran match. It's been very frustrating, and it's coming to the conclusion. Hopefully, everyone who bought tickets will be able to enjoy the matches regardless. But the takeaway is, yes, it is a little disappointing to have to play at CONCACAF Nation again. No disrespect whatsoever to Panama because they are a good side and it is still good preparation. But when it comes down to it, we were wanting just to open the variety. Take a look at what it would be like to play someone outside of CONCACAF. But given the circumstances, this is a win. We got a match, and we'll be able to see our national team play one more time. And because every match is so crucial in preparation. It's why John Herdman is bringing that collective group. He's not bringing 28 people. He's getting chemistry built. He's getting players in that he think could be on the bubble. It's why Edwards is in. It's why Brim is in. But he's got his core, and that's who he wants to see continue building and seeing how he can build the pieces around that. That's what's going to happen. It's why you're going to see these 25-men squad. And if you lose a player like Jonathan Osorio, you don't necessarily even have to replace him because he's putting the faith in what he has. And there's only a certain amount of games going up until the World Cup he's able to do that. So the fact that we got a friendly in is a win, and I'm excited to see some of the new faces. Brim, Edwards, Colisho. It's going to be fun. Are there any players in here watching on the fringe? I don't, in terms of like someone to come in, I don't think so. But there's definitely opportunity for players to try to fight their way back into the national team, which we'll have to take a look for. Hey, I'm red now. You've been with me a long way, my man. I'm in Vancouver. I had tickets to Iran. There's no way they fill the stadium for this game. It was largely Iranians coming to the game. We'll have to see. I'm curious to see what the final number will be like. Hopefully they can fill as much as they possibly can, but it can be difficult. But member for 14 months. Shout out, Top, my man. I appreciate it. Prefer Corbiano to Liam Miller. Ooh, that's a hot take, man. That's a hot take. Yeah, I'm Liam Miller over Corbiano. He's playing at a higher level. He's playing at a better level. He's just had a real breakout season. Corbiano is still, I think he's got a high ceiling, but he's still on that fringe to what kind of step he's going to take next season. But I'm hoping he might get a loan to a championship side and hopefully start. That's a big one. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in. One more time, if you guys have not done so, you want to drop a like, drop a sub as well. It's always appreciated here on the channel, and get your final thoughts in for the new friendly. Hopefully you guys and whoever's going to it is able to enjoy it. But until then, guys, we have the watch-alongs coming up. We got the Canadian Championship Final, Forge and TFC that we're doing a watch-along on, followed by the new friendly against Panama. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. And until next time, guys, cheers and take care. Bye, friends.